Welcome to my another session with all you guys, and welcome to my another class with Python function arguments, and we will discuss about arguments and parameters today. Okay, so hope all of you are doing well and good, and let's start our class today. All of you quickly join our live session, and we will let start our today's session, right? Okay, so let's go ahead with our function. So we are going through Python function, right? So as you know, students, a function can be defined by def keyword, right? A minute. So we can use this def keyword to define our function, right? And here is the name of the function. This is the example of function with a return type. So yesterday we have discussed that what is a function with return type and without a return type, or with the return value or without the return value. This function is called a non-void function as it is having a return type. So it is a non-void function. Okay. So now we are going to see what is argument and what is parameter, right? We are going to see that in our today's session. Now in user defined function, we are having two things, that is parameters and arguments. First is parameter. What is parameter, right? When we are writing the header of any function, then one or more than one value given to its parentheses are known as parameter. Okay. Now, what do you mean by that actually? See, here parameter is the key point, or here parameter is the term or terminology that we are going to be understanding, right? So when you are writing a function definition like def, say I am writing over here def, that is fun1. This is my name of the function, and I am writing over here x, y. So this x and y are become my parameters of function 1 or fun1, right? So this is only state over here with this word that when we write header of any function, that is when we write a header means this is the header of the function, the total thing, that def fun1 x comma y, then a colon. Don't miss the colon, okay? The colon is also included with your header of the function, right? So the header of the function, inside the parenthesis, whatever we are writing is known as parameter, right? So here inside the parenthesis, what we have written, x and y, right? So that is our parameter. Now what is the arguments? Okay, before that, let's see what about parameters actually. These are the values which are used by the function for any specific task. So parameters, what are the parameters actually? Parameters are the values which are used by the function for any specific task. That means whenever we are calling this fun1, suppose some function body is there. Now after it, I am calling this fun1 with some values 5 and 6. So this 5 will go into the x and this 6 will go into the y, and the x and y value, if I print inside the function, that could be 5 and 6. That would be 5 and 6. X will be 5 and y will be 6. So here this at the time of calling, at the time of calling, calling the function, we are giving some specific value to the parameter. Okay, so here we are using the parameters as per holding the values for our specific task. Okay, that is what written over here. Okay, now what is argument? In this example only you are going to understand what is argument actually, right? Now see, while argument is the value passed at the time of calling of the function, right? So at the time of calling of the function, that is this part, this fun1, see student, this part, whenever I am calling the function, I have written here 5 and 6 inside the parenthesis. So that are the arguments over here. So at the time of the definition, whatever we are writing in the parenthesis, that is becoming our parameter. And at the time of the calling of the function, at the time of calling a function, the value passed into it, that is the argument. Okay. Now there are different kind of argument as well as parameters. We are going to see all this. Okay. But let's just know about this one. In other words, arguments are used to invoke a function. That means we are using arguments to calling the function or invoking some value into the function, right? And what is formal parameters? Formal parameters are said to be parameters and actual parameters are said to be arguments. Okay, so actual parameters equals to argument. Always remember, actual parameters and arguments are same, right? Actual parameters and argument are same, but formal parameter is the parameter which are defining at the time of definition of the function. Okay, what is at the time of definition of the function? That means here we are writing def fun1 x and y. In this example, while we are writing this, x and y are the parameters. Okay, and at the time of calling, when we are giving 5 comma 6, that is our argument. Clear? I hope this much is very much clear or to all of you, to all my students. So dear students, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Okay, if you are liking the videos and if you are getting help from these videos, right? Okay, so keep studying and let's move to our next part. Okay, so arguments and parameters. Arguments and parameters का difference समझ में आ गया होगा आप लोगों को, right? So formal parameters and actual parameters को दोनों को mix मत करना. Okay, so always I have seen students mix up those things, formal parameters and actual parameter. What is formal parameter and actual parameter? They mix up this thing. Formal parameter means normally what is the parameter, actually what is called parameter, that is formal parameter. Okay, and actual parameter means the argument. So always remember, argument equals to, see, a and a, actual parameter. This way you can remember, students. Here also in argument a is present, actual parameter also a is present. Okay, so this is not a formula kind of thing. This is my kind of thing. I can remember. It is helpful. I guess it is helpful for me, or it is helpful for students also. When I told them to remember like this, they easily get remembered that yes, A is with argument, A is with actual parameter. So A equals, that means actual parameters equals to the argument. Okay, so this way you can remember. Okay, this is a short kind of trick. Okay, now let's move to the next part. Okay, parameter and argument in function. So you can see here in this example, you can see over here parameters and arguments in function. So see, in this case, DEFCALC is our function. This is the name of the function CALC. And what is the arguments or what is the parameter? What is the actual parameter and what is the formal parameter? If a program is given to you and you have to identify which one is actual parameter and which one is formal parameter. So this is formal parameter. Okay, this is the formal parameters A and B. At the time of the definition, we are defining it. Okay, and this X and Y are actual parameter, or these are the arguments. Okay, these are the arguments. X and Y are the arguments. These are the arguments and A and B are the parameter. So always remember, at the time of the calling of the function, we are having our arguments. Okay. Now coming to the next part, that is type of arguments. Okay, so let's see what are the types of arguments. Quickly we will understand this four type of arguments. Okay, first is positional argument. Next one is default argument, then keyword, and then variable length argument. These four arguments, that are type of arguments. These four are actually very important for your board's examination as well as for your internals and all the examinations. Okay. Positional argument. What do you mean by this positional arguments? Now let's see an example over here. Okay. See, program to add two numbers using function with arguments and return statement. So see, here is a program with the add function, that is add function, and here is a return type also. So which kind of function is this? Tell me in the comment section which type of function is this. Okay, all of you will comment. Okay, non-void or void, what kind of function is this? Okay, now we are having two variables over here, x and y. Okay, x and y we are having, and we are having z equals to add x, y. So here we are calling the function. This is the function call. Okay, now at the time of function call, we are using two arguments, that is x and y, and this is called the positional argument. Why? Because this x value will go to this a and this y value will go to the b. Okay, so this is position, like a and b are sitting for two values correspondingly, that like simultaneously when we are calling the function, we are giving two values x and y. So x will go to the a and y will go to the b, like that, x, y and a, b. So like y will not go to the a, like position will be followed over here. Which is the first position in the definition of the function? That will take the first value of the first argument. This is the first argument, x is the first argument, y is the second argument. So the first argument will go to the first parameter and the second argument will go to the second parameter, like x value will go to a, y value will go to b. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is the positional argument. Okay, now coming to the default argument. Now here only I am giving you an example with the same thing. Suppose I am writing x equals to 2 and b equals to 4 and defining the function like this. Now I am writing c equals to a plus b. and return C like this. Okay, now if I call the function without any argument like add, suppose I am calling the function like this without any argument, no argument is present over here. So it will take the default value, that is A will be 2 and B will be 4. But if I will call the function with x and y, suppose x and y I have taken as an input. Okay, so it will take the value of x and y. So this is becoming the positional argument, but in this case, for this calling, it is becoming the default argument case. Okay, at the time of add, when we are not giving any argument, try to understand here we are calling the function in two different ways. One is for different for default argument and one is for positional argument. Clear? Now I will elaborate it with a more good example actually. Now if I give like this, y equals to 10 and x equals to 2. So this is actually correct because I am giving while calling the function, this is function call, okay, calling the function. Okay, this is, if I am calling the function like this way, y equals to 10, then no need to give the values sequentially, like it is not like a positional argument, it is like a keyword argument. I am giving the keyword over here. At the time of the calling the function, I am giving the keyword, that is y, that is x. Okay, let's see an example like for the same thing. This is the example of positional argument. You can see here subtract is there. So 200 and 100 is given. This 200 will go to A and 100 will go to B, like that. Okay, and the result will come 100. Default argument you will see like, okay, let's see the keyword argument first. Okay, so here you see the example of keyword argument. Name and message is the definition. The time at the time of definition, name and message is our argument parameters. Sorry. So I am giving here name equals to Ram, message equals to good morning. So sorry, good evening. So here this kind of syntax is called keyword argument. So if I give message good evening comma name Ram, so it will be also correct. Okay, so it will take name as a Ram and message equals to good evening, like that. So I will show you in the practical as well, and we will discuss variable length argument as well. Okay, what is variable length argument? Like you can give any kind of argument, like it is possible. Suppose one time I am giving one argument, another time I am giving two arguments. Okay, so one function I am writing and I am using the function with different numbers of argument. One time I am giving one, then I am giving two arguments, like that. Okay, in another way you can call a function overloading as well, means with the same name but different numbers of argument. Okay, so this one also we will see in our next session, that is we will conduct our practical session or we will see some examples as well. So this is fully theory based session. I hope you have understood what is the difference between arguments and parameters and how it is used in the function. Okay, so let's wind up the session over here. In the next one, we will see one example of each, that is positional argument, default argument, and how to categorize this, how to differentiate it if you are getting some questions like that, and also the variable length argument. Okay, so let's wind up over here. Thank you very much and keep like, share and subscribe our channel if you like our sessions. Thank you.